the first thing that comes to mind is something that I'm involved with. Obviously, when I go out and engage a PEO for a quote, is underwriting, right? So if that initial part of the underwriting is very process driven, decision trees, things like that, a lot of the front end of that workload, which could take hours, could take minutes, right? So the ability to be able to speed up the or increase their speed to market, turning around quotes faster, more accurately, right? Now, you're not eliminating people and decision-making processes and underwriting, but what you're doing is you're getting the information to those people who can make those decisions much faster, fewer errors, in a shorter period of time so they can turn around faster. So that's one area where you're starting to see it. I think on the payroll side and the HIRS side, a lot of the workflows can be built in through AI to be able to do that much faster. Um, you're also starting to see AI come into place, I think, on the service side. So I know an AI company out there that's excellent. It's called Effie. They're starting to work with a lot of PEOs and basically where something like a handbook audit would take weeks, right? Because they have to go through, they have to look at it, they have to compare it to all the different state and local and federal regulations. They can run it through an AI software that can basically tell them exactly what is out of compliance based upon the laws today, and then provide them with the updated language that they need to incorporate in order to be compliant. So being able to do that, I have the solution myself. Being able to do that in less than 30 minutes is a game changer, right? It also, so the speed to turn around things quicker, um, you know, getting a complex HR question that you have to run it up the flagpole or escalate it to a more senior level person. If that junior person has access to a knowledge database and can ask that question and get an answer in 30 seconds, it's going to speed up turnaround times. The other thing it's going to allow you to do is hire more what I would consider people with more cost-effective labor, right? So less experience, but then giving them tools where they can leverage to increase their knowledge base and be able to answer questions that they typically otherwise wouldn't be able to answer. So I think what you're going to start to see is a lot more efficiencies and scale in underwriting, pricing, service, right? Things of that nature. So to me, AI is a great opportunity. I don't think it should replace people. PEO and HR is about people. It's not a technology, it's a technology-enabled service. So I think as long as the PEOs understand that they can basically leverage this to scale while maintaining their really good employees, bringing on lower wage employees at a better labor cost to help grow them into those roles is going to be dramatic and a game changer for them. So to me, AI is going to play a big part. How exactly is yet to be seen, but there's some really innovative tools out there. The other tools that you'll see, I think, are on the sales side. So there's a lot of information gathered, sales and implementation. So there's a lot of information gathered during the sales process to be able to underwrite and price. So being able to pull that in and then curate that information, distribute it to who it needs to go to in a very timely fashion, and then getting them to be able to make decisions much faster. Um, so I think that's a huge opportunity. And then the quoting process, right? So you get all this information back. There's a lot of healthcare information, healthcare plans, rates, dental, vision, et cetera. Being able to take that information and putting it into a proposal very quickly rather than hand punching it. And then on the implementation side, which, implementation right now takes, most POs want 45 to 60 days to implement a client. Well, if AI can speed that process up because so much of it is manual work, right? Maybe it could reduce the implementation time to 50% or 25% eventually. So the opportunity there, that's a huge resource constraint for PEOs, especially in because you can't always hire for peak season. So if you're hired for peak season, that means in the off season, you have way too many headcount. And if you don't hire enough in the off season, you don't have enough for peak season. So how do you manage that? It's a difficult thing to manage for a lot of PEOs. So being able to have really good people with really good technology can really help you scale and speed up that process. Also make it more accurate. and a better experience for the client overall and the employees internally.